హరే కృష్ణ. ఎక్కడో చూస్తున్నారు మీరు. ఇక ఏటో నేను క్లాస్ సైన్ చేసేస్తున్నాను. ఇందాక మీ 6 o'clock 4 o'clock క్లాసు ఎవరు లేరు అక్కడ. ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది ఇది కరెక్టో కాదో తెలియదు నాకు.
ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ప్లీజ్.
Translation? No. We are talking about you. You cannot hear. We are talking about you, Prabhu.
Now Google does everything, Mataji.
Oh, okay. You can get the translation. You can get the translation. I never thought you talk this much. He's so quiet person, I used to say. Aditi only talks like that. Now he's talking. Chintya Deva Das Prabhu.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Vrinda.
Sri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Appearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. Today, for you in the US, it is the appearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami. For us, the day has passed, so it's the next day. But nevertheless, since we didn't read about Srila Jiva Goswami yesterday, Srila Jiva Goswami is a very, very important acharya for us. He has, like there is a verse in the Bhagavatam that great devotees in the 10th canto, great devotees, they by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, they prepare, by the mercy of the Lord, they give the formula, they give the procedure, the process by which a conditioned soul can cross over this ocean of material existence. So that procedure given by these great saintly persons is called a boat. So this material existence is compared to an ocean. So these acharyas, we are talking specifically about the gurus, the acharyas coming in parampara, they cross over this ocean of material existence by sitting in this boat. What is that boat? The procedure by which one takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And then they cross this material existence. But out of kindness, in this material world, when you sit in a boat, what happens? We have Ganga here. We have to, whenever we go shopping, we have to go to the other side of the Ganga. We have to go to Navadvip from Mayapur. Now it's not as much because in Mayapur, because of ISKCON, everything is available here. But still, if you have to go, you have to take the boat, and the boat takes you across, and you have to wait on this side until the boat comes back again. So the point is, when somebody takes a boat and crosses, the boat is also gone. The others cannot cross. Unless that boat comes back, you cannot sit in the boat again. This is material boat. But transcendental boat is the Acharya crosses the ocean, not just a small, not a river. He crosses the ocean, goes to the other side, but he leaves the boat behind for everyone else. So, Srila Jiva Goswami, like we were reading yesterday about the Shat Sandarbhas, and he has given us so many other books, not just but the Shat Sandarbhas are very, very important. They are the boat by which even the most fallen, ignorant person can actually cross the ocean. And nicely churning the message of Srila Jiva Goswami from the Sandarbhas, Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has given us the method, the formula by which the people of the present age can very easily cross this ocean of material existence. So it is actually Srila Prabhupada, if you read Srila Prabhupada's purport scrutinizingly, you will see Srila Prabhupada never discourages. Rather, he makes very strong statements about anyone who says that we should not read the literature of the Acharyas. It's not, no. Anyone who says like that, I had posted a quote recently. I mean, I can still look it up, but it comes in Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, third chapter, Adilila third chapter, about Shraddha, right, in Shastra. So there Srila Prabhupada in the purport says, anyone who thinks and who says that there is no need, it's not, you should not read the work of the Acharyas, he's a false devotee. Very powerful statement. Why? Because whatever the Acharyas have said, the same thing is being said by the predecessor, successor, right? The next coming Acharyas. There won't be any difference in their opinion. It's not like the later Acharya says something different than the previous Acharya. It is a parampara. Only the message is presented in a way in which it is acceptable by the audience of that particular time and place. So, Srila Prabhupada very strongly encourages, and we should, because now so many questions come. Devotees ask questions, why it is like this, why it is like that, and we should not simply speculate, oh, it must be like this, it must be like that. Answers are already there. If we scrutinizingly study the process of bhakti, what are the pitfalls in bhakti, what should we avoid so that we make progress nicely, then these answers can be given in an authentic, authorized way so that it will be helpful. So today is the appearance of Srila Jiva Goswami. It is wonderful to read about his life, about his birth and his childhood pastimes. It's very wonderful, very nice. We should hear and learn about him. But even more important is to actually acknowledge and take advantage of the work that he has given us. Our acharyas they would hardly sleep. They would sleep for 1 hour. Sometimes they would even skip that 1 or 1.5 hours every night. Practically all day, they're writing these literatures. For whom? For whom? For all of us. So if we were, like even in the case of Srila Prabhupada was once attending the Vyas Puja of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This was after the disappearance of his Guru Maharaj. No, not after. It was not after. It was before only. Or maybe it was after. Yeah. So all the God brothers, Srila Prabhupada, they were there, and generally what do we do in Vyas Puja? Everyone takes flower petals and they're going to offer flowers. And then you say some offerings in praise. Oh, you're so wonderful, and you nice. It's good. It's not bad. But there Srila Prabhupada made his offering in a very strong way. Srila Prabhupada said, it's okay to offer flowers to the spiritual master, you know, but a serious disciple is he who actually takes the mission of the spiritual master seriously. The mission for which he has given his life, we have to take it upon our shoulders, just like an able son, right? When the father becomes, the father has built his business or whatever, and if the son comes and he enjoys it and he just spoils the whole thing, what kind of a son is he? Rather, he should protect it, maintain it, and maybe even expand it. That will be considered a good son. So similarly, our acharyas, after working so hard, have given us so much. We should at least acknowledge that. We should spend our time trying to understand their greatness, the work that they have given us, accept it in our own lives, and then also pass it on to the world, because everyone, the whole world is going to benefit from their hard work. So in the same mood, Srila Prabhupada was saying that simply offering flowers is not sufficient. A serious disciple should actually take up the mission of the spiritual master. He should take it up. Like that, Srila Prabhupada wrote a poem for his Guru Maharaj. So I was just remembering that. I was talking yesterday to one devotee, and I said, oh, today is the appearance of Srila Jiva Goswami. Because we studied, that devotee actually teaches the Sandarbhas. So to my surprise, the devotee said, are we even appreciating Srila Jiva Goswami? How many people are even aware of his work, what he has done, and how much are they taking, So actually that is the message for the appearance of Srila Jiva Goswami. Anyway, so let's read, but we will also read about the life of Srila Jiva Goswami. Actually, this is yesterday in the message I said, this is another miracle, because many times this miracle happens. In fact, every other day this miracle happens. We will be talking about something and that just comes up in our daily reading. So, we are reading Sri Caitanya Caritamrita now, and we are just going in order, in sequence, and as much as the time permits, we read that day, and then we move on to the next verse. Yesterday, the verse was about the writings of Srila Jiva Goswami, and it was a lengthy purport. It was about the Shat Sandarbhas written by Srila Jiva Goswami. So I just felt very happy. Actually, at that time, I didn't even realize it was the appearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami. In the morning, I saw that. See, this is yesterday's verse. Sri Bhagavata Sandarbha Nama Grantha Vistara Bhakti Siddhante Ratate Dekhai Aichena Para. In Sri Bhagavad Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has written conclusively about the ultimate end of devotional service. And look at the whole purport. So this is the glorification of Srila Jiva Goswami, right? Spreading the word, first of all, accepting what he has written, like what Srila Prabhupada, exactly what Srila Prabhupada did. He accepted it in his life, and then now he spread it, and he is still spreading it all over the world, glorifying. He wrote books about them, about their instructions. So the next verse we will read, and also then we will read about the life. Next verse. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 1, text 44. Gopala Champu Name Grantha Mahashura, Nitya Leela Sthapanaya hai Vraja Rasa Pura. The most famous and formidable transcendental literature is the book named Gopal Champu. In this book, the eternal pastimes of the Lord are established, and the transcendental mellows enjoyed in Vrindavan are completely described. The eternal pastimes of the Lord are established, and the transcendental mellows enjoyed in Vrindavan are completely described. What is the book? Gopal Champu by Srila Jiva Goswami. Purport. In his Anubhashya, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following information about the Gopala Champu. The Gopala Champu is divided into two parts. The first part is called the Eastern Wave, and the second part is called the Northern Wave. In the first part, there are 33 supplications, and in the second part, 37 supplications. In the first part, completed in 1510 Shakabda AD 1588, the following subject matters are discussed. 1. Vrindavan and Goloka. 2. The killing of the Putana demon, the gopis returning home under the instruction of Mother Yashoda, the bathing of Lord Krishna and Balaram, Snigdha Kantha and Madhuk Kantha. 3. The dream of Mother Yashoda. 4. The Janmashtami ceremony. 5. The meeting between Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev and the killing of the Putana demon. 6. The pastimes of awakening from bed, the deliverance of the demon Shakata, and the name-giving ceremony. 7. The killing of the Trinavarta demon, Lord Krishna's eating dirt, Lord Krishna's childish naughtiness, and Lord Krishna as a thief. 8. Churning of the yogurt, Krishna's drinking from the breast of Mother Yashoda, the breaking of the yogurt pot, Krishna bound with ropes, the deliverance of the two brothers Yamalarjuna, and the lamentation of Mother Yashoda. 9. Entering Sri Vrindavan. 10. The killing of Vatsasura, Bakasura, and Vyomasura. 11. The killing of Aghasura and the bewilderment of Lord Brahma. 12. The tending of the cows in the forest. 13. Taking care of the cows and chastising the Kaliya serpent. 14. The killing of Gardabhasura, the ass demon, also called, what's the other name of the ass demon? Dhenukasur, yes. The killing of Gardabhasur or Dhenukasur, the ass demon. And the praise of Krishna. 15. The previous attraction of the gopis. 16. The killing of Pralambasur and the eating of the forest fire. 17. The gopis' attempt to approach Krishna. 18. The lifting of Govardhan hill. 19. Bathing Krishna with milk. 20. The return of Nanda Maharaj from the custody of Varuna and the vision of Golok Vrindavan by the Gopas. 21. The performance of the rituals in Katyayani Vrata and the worship of the goddess Durga. 22. The begging of food from the wives of the Brahmanas performing sacrifices. 23. The meeting of Krishna and the gopis. 24. Krishna's enjoying the company of the gopis. The disappearance of Radha and Krishna from the scene and the search for them by the gopis. 25. The reappearance of Krishna. 26. The determination of the gopis. 27. Pastimes in the waters of the Yamuna. 28. The deliverance of Nanda Maharaj from the clutches of the serpent. 29. Various pastimes in solitary places. 30. No problem. 28. The deliverance of Nanda Maharaj from the clutches of the serpent. 29. Various pastimes in solitary places. 30. The killing of Shankachuda and the Hori. Hori. 31. The killing of Arishtasura. 32. The killing of the Keshi demon. 33. The appearance of Sri Narad Muni and a description of the year in which the book was completed. So this is part 1 of Gopala Champu. So you can see it's Krishna book in detail. In the second part, known as Uttara Champu, the following subject matters are discussed. 1. Attraction for Vrajabhumi. 2. The cruel activities of Akrura. 3. Krishna's departure for Mathura. 4. A description of the city of Mathura. 5. The killing of Kamsa. 6. Nanda Maharaj's separation from Krishna and Balaram. 7. Nanda Maharaj's entrance into Vrindavan without Krishna and Balaram. 8. The studies of Krishna and Balaram. 9. How the son of the teacher of Krishna and Balaram was returned. 10. Uddhava's visit to Vrindavan. 11. Radharani's talking with the messenger Bumblebee. 12. The return of Uddhava from Vrindavan. 13. The binding of Jarasandha. 14. The killing of the Yavana Jarasandha. 15. The marriage of Balaram. 16. The marriage of Rukmini. 17. 7 marriages. 18. The killing of Narakasura, the taking of the Parijata flower from heaven, and Krishna's marriage to 16,000 princesses. 19. Victory over Banasura. 20. A description of Balaram's return to Vraja. 21. The killing of Paundraka, the imitation Vishnu. 22. The killing of Dvivida and thoughts of Hastinapur. 23. Departure for Kurukshetra. 24. How the residents of Vrindavan and Dwaraka met at Kurukshetra. 25. Krishna's consultation with Uddhava. 26. The deliverance of the king. 27. The performance of the Rajasuya sacrifice. 28. The killing of Shalva. 29. Krishna's considering returning to Vrindavan. 30. Krishna's revisiting Vrindavan. 31. Oh, so see, sometimes devotees ask, did Krishna ever come back to Vrindavan? See, it's there. So 29 is Krishna's considering returning to Vrindavan. 30 is Krishna's revisiting Vrindavan. 31. The adjustment of obstructions by Srimati Radharani and others. 32. Everything completed. 33. The residence of Radha and Madhava. 34. Decorating Srimati Radharani and Krishna. 35. The marriage ceremony of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. 36. The meeting of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And 37. Entering Goloka. So this is the complete eternal pastimes of the Lord are established. The transcendental mellows enjoyed in Vrindavan are completely described. The transcendental mellows enjoyed in Vrindavan are completely described. Where? In Gopala Champu by Srila Jiva Goswami. With this, you can just get some idea, a hint of what an exalted position Srila Jiva Goswami is in. So now let's read about Srila Jiva Goswami. I'll just read this. This is biographies of our Gaudiya Acharyas. Not just Gaudiya Acharyas, Vaishnava Acharyas. You find it here. Jiva Goswami, appearing as the nephew of Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis, Sri Jiva Goswami displayed all the charming features of a Mahapurusha, divine person. He had lotus eyes, a high nose and forehead, broad chest, long arms, and a radiant golden body. So the Goswamis are the eternal residents of Golok Vrindavan, eternal associates of Krishna. They have come to participate in Krishna, in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, and also to leave the boat for us behind right, so to speak. Especially Srila Jiva Goswami, all of them. We read about the books by Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, and about Srila Jiva Goswami. So Sanatan Goswami is the eldest brother, then Srila Rupa Goswami, and they had a younger brother called Anupam. Anupam's son is Jiva Goswami. So therefore, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami's nephew is Srila Jiva Goswami. Okay. So, and in his boyhood, he made a deity of Krishna Balaram. Expressing his pure devotion, he would often cry while worshipping them. After offering clothes, chandan, flowers, ornaments, and tasty sweets to Krishna Balaram, he would take some and give Mahaprasadam to his playmates. This is when he's like a very small boy. From the beginning, Jiva showed his kindness to other Jivas, living entities. Jiva, his name is Jiva. Jiva showed kindness to other Jivas, means all of us, all living entities. Jiva was so much attached to Krishna Balaram that at bedtime he would embrace his deities and fall asleep. His parents thought he was only playing, but the villagers rejoiced to see Jiva's love for Krishna Balaram. In school, he quickly mastered Sanskrit grammar, poetry, logic, philosophy. Sanskrit grammar, poetry, logic, philosophy. Srimad Bhagavatam gave life to his life. Krishna Katha filled him with happiness. No one dared to speak to him about anything but Krishna. He toured Navadvip Dham with Sri Nityananda Prabhu, studied Sanskrit in Benares, and then resided in Vrindavan. After humbly serving Sri Rupa Goswami by washing his feet, preparing his manuscripts, and editing his books, he received Diksha. Once the aging Vaishnava Vallabhacharya gave critical advice to Sri Rupa Goswami on his writing. Although much younger than the Venerable Vallabha, Sri Jiva brazenly spoke in defense of his Guru. Sri Rupa Goswami scolded Sri Jiva, telling him to leave Vrindavan. Living in an abandoned crocodile hole in Nandaghat, 45 minutes from Sri Rupa's Bhajan Kutir, Sri Jiva Goswami began fasting. He subsisted on wheat flour, which he begged, mixed with Yamuna water. Seeing his strict self-denial, Sanatan Goswami brought him back to the service of Sri Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada once commented on this guru-disciple pastime. Sri Rupa Goswami cast out Jiva Goswami to teach us, the devotees of today, a lesson. It was not done to teach or punish Sri Jiva Goswami, who is a perfectly liberated eternal associate of Lord Krishna. Rupa Goswami sent Jiva Goswami out of Vrindavan to teach all Jivas what he wrote in Upadeshamrita. Vacho vegam manasah krodha vegam jihva vegam. At all times, a devotee should control his tongue, his speech, and always remain humble. Trinadapi sunichena. So, to teach us this lesson, Sri Rupa Goswami has sent Jiva Goswami out of Vrindavan. Just like if the mother-in-law wants to teach something to her daughter-in-law, she will scold her daughter. Although the daughter has not done anything, but she will scold the daughter in the hearing of the daughter-in-law. So the daughter-in-law will not be, offended or shocked, but she will learn the lesson. Similarly, Krishna does this also, right? He teaches Bhagavad Gita to Arjun. Arjun didn't need Bhagavad Gita. We all need Bhagavad Gita. But to teach us, he speaks to Arjun. Similarly, Rupa Goswami chastises his disciple Jiva Goswami as if he did something wrong, but it is to teach us a lesson. So that Srila Prabhupada is saying that we have to always control our tongue, our speech. So to give us that lesson, Srila Rupa Goswami sent Jiva Goswami out of Vrindavan. Okay. A super excellent Sanskrit scholar, Sri Jiva Goswami, would compose Sanskrit verses in his mind and write them down without changing anything. He would compose in his mind and he would write them down without changing anything. Write them down means he used a metal stylus to permanently etch them in palm leaves. They would carve the work that he did, he put it down on palm leaves by carving it in. It's a metal stylus, and with that he would carve. It's permanent, just like you would say, etching on the stone, like that. There's no question of, scratching it off and correcting or anything. Whatever came in his mind, he would just write once, and that's it. So, a super excellent Sanskrit scholar. Sri Jiva Goswami would compose Sanskrit verses in his mind and write them down without changing anything. Write them down means he used a metal stylus to permanently etch them in palm leaves. This inscription method left no room for erasing, editing, rewriting, or running a spell check. Yet each verse was as priceless gem of perfect meter, rhythm, poetry, and meaning. He was the greatest philosopher in all of Indian history. Contemporary Sanskritists call him the greatest scholar who ever lived or will ever live in the future. Na bhuto na bhavishyati. Nobody had ever existed like him, nor will ever come in the future who would be as good as Srila Jiva Goswami. Sri Jiva Goswami was the youngest of the 6 Goswamis. He is the youngest, but most prolific writer among the Goswamis. He wrote an astounding 500,000 Sanskrit verses in about 25 books. How many did he write? 500,000. 500,000 Sanskrit verses. He composed. His books prove that Sri Chaitanya's philosophy gives the essence of Vedic wisdom. So what is he trying to prove in his books? That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy gives the essence of all the Vedas, of Vedic wisdom and the perfection of religion. Gopala Champu, Shat Sandarbhas and Harinama Vyakarana are 3 of his most famous works. The Sandarbhas firmly establish the transcendental truths of Srimad Bhagavatam. They also confirm that Lord Sri Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, Swayam Bhagavan, the cause of everything and the source of all avatars. Anyone who faithfully reads these books will become a devotee of Krishna. And Harinama Vyakarana is teaching Sanskrit, so teaching Sanskrit language, Sanskrit grammar by using the names of Krishna. How nice. We are looking for something like that for our children, isn't it? We want to teach them whatever they need to learn through Krishna consciousness. You want to teach them English, then let them learn English by reading Bhagavatam, like that. So Sanskrit grammar and the learning Sanskrit, he made it completely Krishna conscious. So he gave this Harinama Vyakarana. So that is what devotees use now. Satyanarayana Das, a Gaudiya Vaishnava Sanskrit scholar who is presently translating the Sandarbhas into English for ISKCON BBT, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, gives this explanation of Jiva Goswami's name. Actually, Sri Jiva Goswami's name Jiva is very interesting when considered in light of the Bhagavat verse. Ahastani sahastanam apadani jivo jivasya jivanam. This is a verse from Srimad. Those without feet are food for the four-legged. Everywhere one jiva, living entity, is food for another. Another meaning of jiva is one who gives life to others. So, the spiritual knowledge given by Jiva Goswami in his 25 books gives life to all the devotees. Another name of Jiva is Jivakaha, one who makes the jivas, living beings, emit ecstatic sounds. Sri Jiva Goswami did this by supplying the esoteric meaning of the Srimad Bhagavatam through his Bhagavat commentaries and the Shat Sandarbhas. One who makes the living entities emit ecstatic sounds, right? So the sound of Bhagavatam is ecstatic. So when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, when we recite, we are actually emitting ecstatic sounds. So Jivakaha is one who makes living entities emit ecstatic sounds. Sri Jiva Goswami did this by supplying the esoteric meaning of the Srimad Bhagavatam through his Bhagavat commentaries and the Shat Sandarbhas. Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary on Bhagavatam is Krama Sandarbha. One who expands the nature of the jiva, his relationship with the Lord, the process to achieve the goal, and the ultimate purpose of life is Jivakan or Jiva, Jivakaha or Jiva. So the meaning of Jivakaha or Jiva means one who expands the nature of the jiva, expands his relationship with the Lord, expands the process to achieve the goal, and the ultimate purpose of life. So this is nothing but the Shat Sandarbhas, right? Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana. The following quote comes from Sri Jiva Goswami's Nectarian Gopala Champu, which describes the playful Vrindavan pastimes of Radha Damodar. From Govardhan hill, a large form of Govardhan manifested. All the Vrajvasis, along with Krishna himself, then offered obeisances to that towering form. As Sri Krishna stood by with folded hands, that great personality Govardhan bellowed, "I shall eat all your offerings." He ate and drank water by emptying all the kundas around the hill. While eating all the preparations made by the Vrajvasis with his right hand, he snapped the fingers on his left hand, like that. The cowherd man, that means bring more, bring more. So he's eating with the right hand, with the left hand, he's snapping his fingers. The cowherd man ran out of the way when Govardhan stretched out his hands to take more and called out, "Aniyor, Aniyor, Aniyor, bring me more, bring me more, bring me more," at the request of Acharya Rani, Jannava Devi Thakurani. Sri Jiva Goswami had Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamananda Prabhu take the Goswami's writings from Vrindavan to Bengal. Yes, they were the disciples. Disciples means students of Jiva Goswami. They all had their own gurus, but they all came to the shelter of Jiva Goswami. He trained them, and then he sent the Goswami's literatures through them. They were the first book distributors. So they translated what? The writings of the Goswamis into Bengali and distributed them throughout Bengal and Orissa. They also preached extensively and initiated hundreds of devotees. In 1542, Sri Jiva Goswami established the worship Sri Sri Radha Damodar in Seva Kunj, Vrindavan. His samadhi stands in the temple compound. Sri Jiva Goswami is Vilasa Manjari in Radha Damodar's Nitya Vrindavan Leela. Jai. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad ki jai. There's more, we don't have time, but you can go and read more. See, I only read one. There's other biographies here, so you'll get more details about Srila Jiva Goswami. We just don't have time now to read. But thank you all. Hare Krishna. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mata.